Well, thank you very much, Mark, and thank you, Commissioner Moedas, Carlos. I'm delighted to have been reappointed to my job as Minister for Universities and Science in time to come to Manchester for ESOF 15. I was very worried and was receiving an increasing number of emails from Dame Nancy Rothwell on this point, and I'm really, really pleased that I'm here in time to have heard such an inspiring vision from Commissioner Moedas about Europe's future as a science powerhouse in years to come. It was a radical vision, and it's appropriate because we're here in Manchester, a city of radical thinking, inspirational science and world-changing firsts. This is one of the cradles of the Industrial Revolution, as Carlos reminded us, the city where in 1948 the first computer with a stored program and memory, nicknamed Baby, was developed at Manchester University. And it is, of course, also the birthplace, more recently, of graphene, a revolutionary material discovered by two scientists, both of whom were born overseas and chose to make Britain their home, part of what Carlos has just described as that wonderful community that transcends national borders. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an important moment for British science as we contemplate our future beyond our membership of the European Union. Theresa May, in one of her first major speeches as our new Prime Minister, said she wanted the United Kingdom to formulate a new industrial strategy. And great British science, as one of our truly outstanding national assets and areas of clear comparative advantage, will surely be one of its main building blocks. The case for doing everything we can to build up our national strengths in science and innovation in a post-Brexit world is very powerful, and Manchester must play its full part. I'm very pleased that Manchester and the East Cheshire region are already undertaking one of the first science and innovation audits, focusing on their core strength areas of health innovation and advanced materials, as well as the fast growth opportunities around digital, energy, and industrial biotechnology. Manchester, you are leading the way in these audits, gathering the evidence needed to make quality decisions that will have a real impact. And it is with this in mind that I'm pleased to be able to announce today that we will today be launching the second call for expressions of interest for the next wave of science and innovation audits across the country. Designed to map out local research, innovation, and infrastructure strengths across the UK, these audits will help identify and build on the potential of every region across the country by making sure investment is properly targeted and uncovering opportunities for business to tap into. Today, here at ESOF, we have an opportunity to remind ourselves that science is international, that we live in a world in which no border can be closed to science, that the UK plays a leading role in that global endeavour, and that scientific progress here or anywhere else hinges on the close partnerships and collaborations that we forge. It was impressive that the organisers of ESOF received 350 applications from scientists from the four corners of the globe, keen to have the opportunity to deliver scientific sessions during this conference in response to the overarching conference theme, Science as Revolution. I hope that the presentations and discussions in the 150 sessions over the coming 3 days allow for successful exploration and debate on the ways in which science and technology are continuing to revolutionize the world around us. Now, you don't need me to tell you that excellent science depends on excellent collaboration, sharing ideas, comparing notes, testing assumptions, and occasionally disagreeing with each other. This is why the openness that Carlos has so eloquently explained and championed is such an important part of the equation. And I completely agree with his assessment that the strongest position to have, a position that benefits all of us, is one in which we are collaborative, outcome-focused, and global in our approach. It's just over a month since the UK referendum, and the exact structure of the relationship that the UK has with the EU in future will require much detailed discussion. But I am absolutely clear that we will be more outward-looking than ever as a country. And as the Prime Minister has said, leaving the EU does not mean leaving Europe or turning our backs on the world. That's why I'm concerned by reports that UK participants are being asked not to lead or participate in Horizon 2020 project bids, or are reluctant to apply for longer projects as they are not confident they will receive money due after the UK's eventual departure from the EU. It is worth remembering, as Carlos has said, that in legal terms, nothing changed overnight following the referendum. The UK remains an EU member during the 2-year renegotiation period, with all the rights and obligations that derive from this. EU students studying here or looking to start in the autumn remain eligible for student finance for the full duration of their courses. We remain fully open to scientists and researchers from across the EU. We hugely value the contribution of EU and international staff, and there are no immediate changes to their rights to live and work in the UK. I would like to thank Carlos, Commissioner Moedas, and all his colleagues in the European Commission for helping us to remind people of these basic facts. And I'm really pleased also that Carlos, Commissioner Moedas, reiterated just now that Horizon 2020 will continue to be evaluated on the basis of excellence, not nationality. Just as I welcomed last week the statement by the League of European Research Universities that UK universities are and will continue to be indispensable collaborative partners. I welcome its decision to call upon those who review funding applications to see the engagement of UK partners as a desirable feature of projects rather than a risk to be managed, and also its commendable position that it is completely inappropriate to respond to the referendum by taking decisions that punish UK researchers or disrupt partnerships. Of course, I completely understand that Brexit inevitably poses new challenges for all of us, beyond these reassurances that Commissioner Moedas and I have been able to give today. The immediate concerns around movement of people and grant status are understandable. They are the obvious things to worry about when collaborations can run for many years and individual careers depend on making the right decisions. I recognize the demand for further clarity on these issues, and am working intensively with colleagues across government to provide it as soon as practicable. In the meantime, as the UK establishes its new position in the world, we will work with you to protect our research and innovation at this time of change. And forgive me, Carlos, but even on the continent of Europe, the EU is not the only game in town. Academic and research cooperation in Europe predates the EU by centuries, and the community of European academic institutions has always been much wider than the EU. The UK will continue to play a leading role in major non-EU research collaborations that take place here, from CERN in Switzerland to the European Space Agency. And just this month, we confirmed the UK's application to become a full member of a major new particle accelerator, the European Spallation Source in Sweden. Here in the UK, we have fundamental strengths on which we must now build. First and foremost, we have a long-established system that supports and therefore attracts the brightest minds at all stages of their careers. Many of them are in this room today, including Professor Savenki Ramakrishnan of the Royal Society. We fund excellent science wherever it is found and ensure there is the academic freedom, the support for the scientific temper to tackle important scientific questions. As a government, we recognize the contribution that our world-class research base makes to our economy and well-being, which is why we have committed to protect the science budget in real terms and protect the funding that flows through Innovate UK in cash terms. The new Prime Minister has already recognized this in a letter last week to Sir Paul Nurse, the Royal Society and the CBI, which reiterated the government's manifesto and spending review pledges to protecting science and research funding in real terms. This clear, personal commitment is hugely welcome. Second, we have excellent scientific infrastructure here in the UK, in universities, in existing research institutes such as the MRC Laboratory for Molecular Biology and the Wellcome Trust Sanger Institute, and in new institutes like the Crick and Royce. This is backed by that manifesto commitment of 6.9 billion capital funding up to 2021. That's record levels of investment in new equipment, new laboratories, and new research institutes. Third, we have access to major research infrastructures across the world, such as the Large Hadron Collider, in which the UK plays a leading role. We are a major partner in building new infrastructure, such as the Square Kilometre Array, whose global headquarters will be based at Jodrell Bank, and in the LIGO scientific collaboration, which made the dramatic gravitational waves discovery. It was UK researchers working with their counterparts who made this possible. And we were also hugely successful at innovation, second in the latest Global Innovation Index and one of the most attractive countries in the OECD for international business R&D investment. And to add to these successes, we are now more ambitious than ever to build global research partnerships that not only put the UK at the forefront of international research on global challenges, but also support the economic development and social welfare of developing countries around the world. The government's Science and Innovation Network, through which 90 staff based in 31 countries around the world support work on global challenges such as AMR and climate change, exemplifies our global approach. We have doubled our investment in the Newton Fund to £150 million per year by 2021, meaning a total UK investment of £735 million by 2021. This is match funded by developing countries we have identified as having the potential to become future science and innovation leaders and can benefit most from collaboration. Extending the Newton Fund has provided a unique opportunity for UK scientists to work with partners around the world to address some of the biggest challenges of our time. And we are already seeing an impact. Since its launch, the Newton Fund has supported more than 420 research projects on topics including sustainable food production, urbanization, and antimicrobial resistance. Over 1,000 fellowships and placements were awarded in the first 2 years, and around 1,750 researchers have made links between the UK and Newton partner countries. We are also creating a new 1 million Newton Prize starting next year, which will be awarded by a panel chaired by Professor Savenki Ramakrishnan. This will not just be a one-off, but an annual prize awarded for the best science or innovation projects that promote the economic development and social welfare of Newton partner countries or address the problems of poor people around the world. By working together on bilateral and multilateral programs with a research and innovation focus, the UK will build strong, sustainable, systemic relationships with partner countries. This will support the continued excellence of the UK research base and innovation ecosystem and act as a catalyst to unlock opportunities for wider collaboration and trade. ESOF is a fantastic example of the international nature of collaboration, and long may it continue. As I hope I have made clear today, the UK is and will continue to be a hub of global activity, and this government, now more than ever, will play its part in ensuring that the UK continues to be a great place for great minds to come together from Europe and from all over the world to build knowledge, understanding, and better solutions to our shared global challenges. Thank you.